Welcome to a Clued In bonus episode. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Brooke, and we both love mystery.
Hi, Brooke.
Hi, Sarah. This is going to be so much fun. We're doing a little preview episode of a special project we're working on.
That's right. We've read the books, we've watched the trailer. The Thursday Murder Club movie is coming out soon, and we wanted to share our thoughts. This episode is for our regular podcast feed, and the follow up will be released to members of the Clued In Cartel first before it goes to our newsletter subscribers. It costs as little as $12 per year to join the cartel, and by joining, you get other bonus content, including mini mysteries, extra episodes, and copies of books we release. And you help offset the cost of producing Clued In Mystery. Okay, Brooke, let's get to it. The film is based on the 2020 book of the same name. This trailer is only about 90 seconds long, but it feels like we get a lot of information. What were your first thoughts?
Well, I think my first impression is Helen Mirren is perfect, right? Like this casting, I think overall is really good, but I think Helen Mirren makes a really great Elizabeth.
I agree. And I feel the same way about Ben Kingsley as Ibrahim.
Absolutely.
When they announced the casting, wasn't sure about Pierce Brosnan, but the few seconds he's on screen convinced me that he might work.
I think the catch for me was I didn't envision Ron as being so incredibly attractive, right? Like Pierce Brosnan is that silver fox, and that's not who I had in my head for Ron, but it'll make a fun layer to the story, won't it?
It will. And, I think Ron is pretty charming, and Pierce Brosnan seems like he's the same. So I think it will work. I'm not familiar with the actress who's playing Joyce, but she looks exactly like how I picture her from the books.
Exactly. Yes, I'm not very familiar with her either, but I know I've seen her in some things. And I remember thinking that she is just a really great actress. Like, she's going to be perfect for this amateur sleuth kind of thing. And the little snippet you see of her when she's so excited to start investigating a real murder is just adorable. And Joyce, I think, is my favorite character in this group. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her visually.
And in the preview, you get flashes of PC Donna de Freitas and Joanna, who is Joyce's daughter. And I looked to see the cast list. It looks like most of the characters from the book appear in this.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting because we're dealing with a movie. You and I have spoken about when they were talking in the works of putting this together. Would it be like a limited series? Would it be just a movie? And I will admit, I was a little disappointed that it wasn't a series because I think that you can really dive into the book more. But 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 it is a movie, and like you say, most of the characters are there, so it looks like they're really going to try to tell the whole story, which will be great.
Yeah, I mean, I think I am a little bit concerned that we won't get enough time to really get to know the characters in the way that we do with the book,
Mhm.
and we won't see the dynamics that make the book so wonderful. But these actors, it may have been difficult to get them to sign on for a series. And there are some other big names associated with this, right? So Chris Columbus is the director, Steven Spielberg is a producer. I don't know that they do series.
Very good point. Very good point. And wow, like these are just some of the biggest names in filmmaking. So I think that just speaks to what an amazing story Richard Osman, like the whole world, not just mystery fans, the world has really understood what an incredible story this is. And great point. Bringing them in for a series is probably not viable. However, there could be sequels.
Absolutely. And I didn't see anything in the little bit of research that I did. I didn't see anything to suggest that the rights for the other books have been sold, but I'm certain they have. The rights for this were sold before the book was released.
Which maybe isn't all that surprising given Richard Osman's television history.
That's right. He was a TV presenter before he started writing, um, and so he's very familiar with kind of that side of things. Um, I wonder if he will make a cameo. So in, I know Alfred Hitchcock would make cameos in his films. In the Inspector Morse series, Colin Dexter, who's the creator, the author of the books that the series is based on, he appeared in almost all of the episodes of that. So it would be so fun, particularly because Richard Osman has some familiarity with being on a TV set. I don't think he's ever done a scripted production, but he would be familiar with kind of the ins and outs of the industry. It would be super fun to see him flash up on screen for a moment.
I love that idea, and I hope that they thought of that too, because it is such an homage to that mystery space thing, right? Like you mentioned, Alfred Hitchcock, and oh, I hope that that happens. That would be so much fun.
Well, Brooke, we will find out very shortly. The film releases on August 28th on Netflix, and we will regroup after we've both had a chance to watch and share our thoughts.
I can't wait, Sarah. But for today, thank you for joining us on Clued in Mystery. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Sarah, and we both love mystery.
Clued in Mystery is written and produced by Brooke Peterson and Sarah M. Stephen. Music is by Shane Ivers. If you liked what you heard, please consider telling a friend, leaving a review, or subscribing with your favorite podcast listening app. Visit our website at cluedinmystery.com to sign up for our newsletter, The Clued In Chronicle, or to join our paid membership, The Clued In Cartel. We're on social media at Clued In Mystery.